Have you ever wanted to learn to cook but just didn't know where to start?
Well, we're the guys from Sorted Food and we've teamed up with Co-op to create Now Cook It.
A free online course to show you how to up your food game.
So head over to Now Cook It to get started, but for now, check out this video from the course.
Shakshuka, it's a delicious brunch that's a great alternative to a good old English fry-up, and it's also going to help us learn skills around poaching, frying and a little bit of steaming.
So we're going to start with the veggies, which in this case is onion, pepper and garlic. We need to prepare them all. So with the onion, we're going to top and tail it, halve it, peel it and then slice it. And as for the pepper, exactly the same, top, tail, then we're going to cut down one side, decore and slice that to match the onion. And what you'll need is a large frying pan and one that has a lid that fits. The lid is important later on, but for now we're going to start with a fry. So about a tablespoon or so of olive oil, and then the onions and the pepper can go in. We want to cook them for about 5 minutes over a medium heat, enough to get a little bit of colour, but not so much they burn before they have a chance to cook all the way through. While we're waiting for them to cook, we can peel and dice a clove of garlic.
Now, there's going to be a lot of people out there who are going to say you can't beat a good old English fry-up.
I think this is slightly different. Obviously this is a vegetarian dish, great for brunch. I think when I think of vegetables in a fry-up, I think mushrooms, maybe some cabbage and potato and like a bubble and squeak, tomatoes. We are putting tomatoes in here. Onion and pepper though, slightly different version. It's a nice sort of Middle Eastern dish, very, very popular in sort of restaurants that are serving brunch right now, and one that's so easy for you to do at home. What we're looking to do is fry it, but it's kind of a saute. So it's just a little bit of oil, and saute literally means to jump. So you just want to every so often keep those items jumping in the pan or just moving around with a spoon or some tongs. Now that the onions and peppers have had a head start, we can add in our chopped garlic. Any earlier it has a chance of burning. And once the garlic's in and we've tossed that in, we can add some spices. So we've got some chili for a bit of heat. We've got paprika and ground cumin. All easy store-cupboard ingredients. And as soon as we toss that together, you'll begin to smell those.
That's fantastic. It's not a smell, it's an aroma. That's how you can tell it's good.
All you need is 30 seconds or so until you can smell that aroma. Smell being the verb, aroma being the other bit.
Yep.
And then we're going to add some tomato puree. Veg stock, we're just going to cheat as always. This is a veg stock cube dissolved in warm water. Give it a stir and leave that to bubble for a few minutes while we chop up 2 tomatoes. We can keep the seeds and the pulp in, just roughly hack it up. With the tomatoes hacked up, they can go into the pan along with a teaspoon of sugar, which just draws out the natural sweetness of the tomatoes.
It's not something you'd usually expect to put in a savoury dish, is it?
A little bit of sugar can help really lift things like a tomato sauce. It just takes the bitterness off, especially with those spices as well, and becomes a rounded flavour. We now need to let that bubble for, depending on the heat of your pan, 10, 15 or 20 minutes until you've got a saucy consistency. So that's the kind of saucy consistency you're looking for, something where basically when you can make a couple of whirls in it, it doesn't instantly fill in. And now for some fresh herbs. This is an optional extra, but it makes all the difference. I'm just going to take some fresh coriander, a generous sort of handful, so that once it's chopped up, you've got a couple of tablespoons. And the kind of consistency that's perfect to make 4 whirls.
Now, if you're sitting there thinking, this doesn't look much like a brunch just yet, then the next ingredient is going to completely change your mind, because we're going to add in
eggs.
Eggs.
All you need to do is crack the eggs into those whirls. So we've started by frying and sauteing. Now we're going to slow the cooking method down, nice and gentle. We're going to half poach in the tomato sauce and half steam. That's where the lid comes in. Okay, so just a gentle crack with the back of a knife and just basically ease those into the whirls that you've created. We've turned the stove down to absolutely its lowest temperature. So there's a tiny, tiny bit of movement. And then the lid goes on top. And it will need, depending on the temperature of your eggs, they're better if they're at room temperature, between 6 and 8 minutes. Okay. Until the white has set, but there's a slight wobble on the yolk. And that's kind of what you're after. So you can see the yolk still slightly squidgy, and the white's just set. At this point, it's good to go.
And at this point, it's also vegetarian, it's gluten-free, and with just a few little herbs on top, it's also dairy-free, unless you want to go a little extra mile.
And we like the extra mile, so if you've got a little bit of feta cheese, just crumble that over the top, and with the heat, it just starts to go kind of a little bit oozy and melty.
That salty cheesiness is going to be incredible on top of this.
And that is going to kind of season it for you as well. And I love the sort of food that can just go to the table just like that and everyone can dig in. But that is everything you need to know to make shakshuka.
I'm not sharing that. That's amazing.
Tiny bit of heat from the chili, but it's more about the ground cumin and the paprika. Oh, so good.
And so easy.
One pan.
If you want the recipe and all the details for this, it's all available down below.